'70, a knockout year for Joe Frazier. The year Willis Reed led the Knicks to an NBA title. A magic year in sport.
It was just a great year.
Then pro football's greatest coach is remembered with a look back at Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packer dynasty. There's only one place these guys find glory, on Championship Wrestling. A Superbouts thriller rounds out the action, all Friday on ESPN.
And there you see three very prominent gentlemen concerning this championship. To your far left is Roger Tessman, and in the middle, Dave Brunette, sports marketing for Bud Light, and on the right, Ed Sweeney, the president of the American Bowling Congress. And I think all three of those gentlemen are enjoying the fact that we're here in Niagara Falls for the ABC Bud Light Masters Championship. Rick Steelsmith leads by 2, and he'll be shooting in the 7th frame on the right-hand lane.
Here it comes. It gets the light hit. Maintains that 2-pin lead. Well, it was a funny hit. The pin's just fighting to get down on that one.
Yeah, it's because of the generations involved, the revolutions. Boy, he is really hitting that bowling
I
ball.
couldn't count up how many revs he's getting on that ball fast it goes down there.
You know, Mike, somebody told me he has more revs on one shot than you had in an entire Masters tournament one year.
As he gets that light in, we don't get to see him all falling.
Oh, my goodness. He is playing a game with which most of us are unfamiliar. But it's still a very tight match. He hasn't really opened up any operating room at this point.
2 pins to make it 12. And gets it.
And most of the crowd that you hear cheering for Rick Steelsmith is comprised of the ACUI college players who also bowled this past week in Niagara Falls.
Now, John, during the commercial break, I mentioned Ernie Schlegel was sitting right in front of us. The lanes were breaking down a little bit, and he was going to move a little bit, which I think is the wrong move. I really think that he should try and increase the speed, but he's out there. We'll see what will happen.
He trails by 12 here in the 8th frame. Time is running out.
Well, he knew what he was doing.
But with a high hard one, Mike, I think that's probably the hardest he has thrown the ball of the entire telecast.
That's his game, though. See, the speed and straight shot, as he asked for a re-rack here in the 9th frame. The head kind of dips down, the higher backswing, right over about the 9th board with a lot of speed, and the ball doesn't hook at all. But look at the difference in the revolutions between his ball and Steelsmith's ball. But there are 12 pins difference in the match. We're in the 9th frame, and he's got to strike here. He can cut it to 2, and John knows that. I mean, John is an experienced player. He's getting himself together, and I really think he's going to make a good shot right here.
John Weltzien re-racking on lane 27. And here in the 9th, needs a double.
And, oh, boy, it looked like it was going to trip that 4, and it didn't do it as he grabs his wrist. Well, tough situation right now.
Very tough break indeed.
As he goes just a little bit high, we watch the 2-pin, 3rd from the left, goes to the sideboard. Looked like it was going to get both of them. Oh, I'm sorry, the 10-pin's standing there too. I couldn't see that from my angle. Boy, he is in big trouble now.
I think that's why he feels like that. Obviously, the worst break of the tournament. Tried to fit that ball in a little bit and left the 410. And now only has a possible 194, Mike.
From my angle, I couldn't see the 10-pin at all. It was obscured by the rack down there.
Mm-hmm. Really, it didn't look like that bad a shot to me. Maybe a solid 4, okay, but without the 10-pin. So Rick Steelsmith
in a commanding position right now.
Try and seize the moment, as it were, looking for a 3-bagger.
Up 24 pins can increase it to 34. And does.
Possible 238 for the 22-year-old collegiate player of the year.
And that locks it up right now. Basically, all he has to do is stay behind the foul line and keep the ball in the building.
Rick Steelsmith, born in Abilene, Kansas, hometown now, Wichita, Kansas, representing Wichita State University. His collegiate eligibility all finished up 4 times, Mike, an All-American.
Pretty impressive bowling.
And obviously a member of Team USA. He'll be competing in the FIQs. Oh, right, he's about as loose as you can get right now, Mike Durbin. He's a dangerous player, and I'm sure that Brad Snell is standing by. He's in the #1 slot, probably not envying the fact that he's going to have to come and play this right-hander.
Well, he doesn't have to beat what he's bowling now. He has to beat what he bowls the next game. John Weltzien, we see, is going to finish up with $20,000.
And add 600 for matches. And coming up in just a couple of moments, there you see Brad Snell. He'll take on Rick Steelsmith for the championship.
Hi. I've been looking all over for this terrific video cassette I heard about. It's called Not So Great Moments in Sports. Like one scene is where Billy Martin tries to give an ump a shoe shine.
That's a fantastic video. My favorite part is where John McEnroe plays tennis with his orange juice.
I hear there's a scene where Reggie Jackson protests a Gaylord Perry spitball with a visual aid.
Yeah. I love it where a kicker tries to play quarterback. Not So Great Moments is 45 minutes of the funniest sports footage I've ever seen.
Great, so you have it.
No, it's not in video stores yet.
Now what do I do?
You get it free.
Let me understand. You don't have the video, but you're going to tell me how to get it free.
Right.
Am I missing something?
You're missing out on Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated? I love SI. What does Sports Illustrated have to do with it?
You get Not So Great Moments in Sports free with your paid subscription.
Oh, I let my subscription run out.
Well, now's a perfect time to go for it again. You get 25 weeks of America's best sports coverage, including the Pro Football Spectacular with all the picks, previews, and profiles, and the beautiful swimsuit issue.
I like that.
Everybody likes that. You even get a handy NFL schedule.
And Not So Great Moments in Sports?
You get it all.
I do? How?
Just call Sports Illustrated's toll-free number.
Wait a minute. All that great footage has got to be worth a fortune.
I ought to know.
Yeah, I'll bet they raised the price of the magazine, right?
It's over 47% off the cover price. Just 3 installments of $9.89 each. You can even put it on a credit card.
No kidding. I get 25 weeks of SI, including the Pro Football Spectacular, the football schedule, the swimsuit issue, and the video cassette free.
You get it all. Just call 1-800-621-7000.
I gotta get to a phone. What's that number again?
Here, 1-800-621-7000.
Whew. Hi, have you heard of Not So Great Moments in Sports?
And there you see the final of the last game, 237-184, an impressive victory for Rick Steelsmith, who threw 8 strikes in his opening game. And there you see the prize list. John Weltzien will finish 3rd, win $20,600, the $600 coming courtesy of the 6 matches that he won. The loser of this match, no less than $26,000, and on top, Mike Durbin, $43,000.
Not a bad payday.
And here is the young gentleman who would like to collect that big paycheck. He's our top seed, 27-year-old Brad Snell, who John Weltzien tabs as the best regional player in the Midwest. And right now, a red-hot Rick Steelsmith, still in college, mind you, is bowling for the ABC Masters Championship.
And I'm amazed here. Snell has chosen to finish on lane 27, that he did not strike one time in the practice balls, which leads me to think one thing, that he does not want to finish the match and have to strike to win. He wants to get his score posted first and let the other guy have to beat him.
Steelsmith with a good opening shot, but leaves the half 10.
Which he did last time, and he missed it. See, I just think that Snell's in a defensive posture already, mentally and physically.
Well, if you don't have a good shot, what are you supposed to do?
You have to go with finish on the lane that you're hitting better. And I'm assuming he's going to hit the right lane better than the left, and maybe I'm wrong.
Well, there you see him. It's a calculated risk. Steelsmith nailing the 10-pin in the first frame here of the championship game.
Boy, the kid appears to have no weaknesses. He's got the sound physical game with a lot of revs on the ball, makes his spares, seems to have the poise. There's no chinks in the armor here, I'll tell you.
And he likes to play golf, which obviously raises the stock in my book.
Puts him right on the tour automatically, doesn't it? Brad Snell on lane 28 brings it in for the strike.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you he is breathing a little bit easier at this point. Boy, they had a tremendous match last night to find out who would be the top seed player, and Snell just hung in there, and threw a big last game to nail down the top spot. Only averaged 207, but he won 6 consecutive matches, and that's the key.
That's what the Masters is all about once you get into the match play portion of the tournament. Now, he never hit the 1-2 pocket in his practice balls on this lane.
Might want to mention the fact that he qualified as a state representative too, so he had to beat people in Illinois just to get to this tournament.
And he must know what he's doing.
Oh, it never fails, Mike. Every time you say something like that, they disprove your theory, which is great, though. We love to see it, right?
Oh, hey, Brad Snell's a PBA member, and if he wins this particular tournament, he will win a 3-year exemption into the Firestone Tournament of Champions. Steelsmith, however, is not a PBA member. If he wins the tournament, there's no exemption.
And Rick has already said, I will graduate in December and hopefully get my card and get everything in order, and I'll start the tour next January. Oh. Cool as a cucumber, this 22-year-old right-hander.
Watch this shot. Look at the swing. Straight, high. Little open shoulder there, but he brings it right straight back in line and snaps it like Amleto Monticelli at that point there. And watch this ball finish into the 1-3 pocket. Whew.
That's exciting, isn't it? The interesting note here is he bowled the regular ABC tournament last week and only shot 1690 all events, which is like averaging 185.
That's for 9 games. To even the match. Oh, boy.
Yeah, times have changed. Big double there for Rick Steelsmith in the second and the third. Just gives you an idea of how talented the collegiate players are today, how quickly the programs have grown. They're all scholarship players now, and the programs are growing, and they're churning out these tremendous young champions.
And the bowling is changing. You know, years ago, you had the quote, for lack of a better phrase, the bowling alley bum, you know, that lived at the bowling center and bowled there all the time. And now we're getting college graduates as Snell tries for 3 in a row. Pretty!
Well, whatever Brad Snell worked on in practice, obviously he's implementing that here in the title match.
Brad Snell, 5-step player. Watch the swing. Pretty straight. Little open shoulder, not bad. Extended follow through and deep knee bend there with that left knee. And that's the result. Perfection. But here's the big shot. He's up by 10, and I think on the more difficult of the 2 lanes for him, he can increase it by 20 if he can get out with 1 more strike. Is he going to get up? It did, but it left the soft 7. A nice shot.
And Brad Snell has obviously bowled under pressure before, Mike. He has 8 PBA regional titles to his credit thus far.
Goes out to about the 3rd or 4th board, comes in, and the ball will deflect. And the 4-pin second from the left just doesn't make it out of the channel to get that 7. Tough spare sometimes. Single pin spares, they can all look pretty small for 43,000. No trouble at all. Snell is up by 9 pins.
And we're in the championship game. As Mike just mentioned, a 9-pin lead for Brad Snell, but a lot of bowling left.
When your schedule makes it impossible to catch the local news at 6 or 10 p.m., tune to WCCO2. WCCO2 relays the 6 p.m. report at 7 and the 10 p.m. report at 11 o'clock every night. Now you can have your news when you want it. You don't have to wait till morning to find out what's happening. The Twin Cities' top-rated newscasts, the 6 and 10 p.m. reports, repeated at 7 and 11 o'clock for you. WCCO2 for your hectic schedule or just to fit your lifestyle. Check your local cable listings for the channel in your area.
The amazing Chinese golden monkey, a very rare and beautiful monkey seldom seen outside China. The bright blue face and long golden hair have been part of Chinese culture for centuries. the golden monkey, a messenger from Buddha with godlike magical powers and hidden secrets. See this rare treasure at the Minnesota Zoo, May 9th through July 5th. Easy to get to. Cedar Avenue from the north, 35.
Steelsmith operating on a double in the second and the third, and if he strikes here, would take the lead by a single stick.
And I watched him in between the break there. He walked over, he got a drink of water, he reached for it. The hand was not shaking, he was not nervous. Total confidence, total relaxation, and he's 21 years old.
It's kind of frightening, isn't it?
Well, I asked, is he from Earth? I mean,
no, he's from Wichita.
For one to even the match, leaves the soft 10.
Oh, that was another key shot. One of the finest collegiate bowlers in the country, as we mentioned, the BWAA Collegiate Player of the Year in 1986-87. Also the MVP of the team championships in Wichita State. Boy, have they churned out some tremendous bowlers in the last 10 years, Mike?
Which, you know, every year it seems like they just churn out these good bowlers. Was Jurek from there?
No, West Texas State.
He was from West Texas
State. Trying to think. Danny Nadeau,
wow.
I think.
He had it measured just
Wichita
right.
State. Yep, you're right. Just barely picked off the 10 pin.
Missed one on that lane earlier. As much as we're singing his plaudits, he still trails by 10 pins in this match, and we're almost halfway through.
We can't forget that. Boy, this is a tremendous title match. $215,000 ABC Bud Light Masters Championship.
Boy, he thinks about what he's going to do before he gets up there, and once he gets up there, he takes very little time because he's already made up his mind what he's going to do. Will it hit it? Well, is the 10 pin up there this time? No, I can't quite see from here. I'm not going to make that mistake again.
I know you're not leaning over. No, pretty solid shot there. You know, my dad used to say something. He used to tell me, Danny, get up on the approach and go bowl, because you're not going to get up there and find it while you're up there. In other words, if you don't take it up there with you, you're not going to find it anywhere. We don't want slow bowling either, right, Mike? Make up your mind, go up and throw the shot.
Speaking from one of the more speedy bowlers, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Watching you was like an egg timer. Remember that? But how can you argue with success? I guess everybody's got their own speed, don't they, Mike, the way they operate?
Right. You know, some people take a lot of time on the approach. The problem is you take a lot of time getting there and then take a lot of time once you're there. Snell leading by 11 pins, 5th frame. He's still in this match, ahead by 11.
Brad Snell said his lifetime dream is to win a national championship, and he said, you know what? The ABC Masters is definitely that.
Pretty.
Boy, that 8-pin stood there for or I should say the 9-pin maybe stood there for a second or so.
He's had every ball in the 1-2 pocket, and he did not throw one in the pocket in the practice shots. It just amazes
See,
me.
he ambushed him, though, Mike. That's the old fake out.
Is that the fake
Sure,
out?
you
He
miss
faked
the
me
pocket.
out, I'll tell you.
You get the other guy overconfident, then you come out and flush the first 5.
Well, he can take a 21-pin lead and really put some heat on this young college player right now.
Brad is a pro shop operator in Des Plaines, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Said he lives about 10 minutes from O'Hare Airport.
Is it going to get there? No. The 3.59. Brad Snell from the front, and watch his left knee on the next to last step. Right here, as he bends it very deep, and as he lets it go, it gets even deeper, kind of accentuated late.
Snell's first tough spare attempt of the title match.
Made it perfectly.
Covered it with a great deal of confidence. He's bowling with a great deal of confidence right now, Mike.
Especially on that right lane, but he's chosen to finish on the left. We should comment that the player above in the standings has the choice of what lane he wants to finish on. And Snell has chosen to finish on lane 27. Steelsmith bowling on lane 28. 2 consecutive spares, trailing by 11 pins.
Oh, that's sheer power, because that ball hit in about the middle of the pocket and just slapped that 10 right out.
That's the old half pocket hit and slaps that weak 10 out, and you can tell when the player has that good finger lift, that's what happens at that particular point. When you don't have it, the 6-pin lays in the channel and doesn't make it out.
We've already mentioned that Rick will be participating on the USA team in the FIQ World Championships June 17th through the 13th in Helsinki. And he'll also represent the U.S. in the Tournament of the Americas in Miami in August. That's going to finish up.
That's a tally bowl in Helsinki, right?
Yep. Finish up a brilliant collegiate career, amateur career, and then turn professional. This one's going to hurry, and it does as he reaches deep down, got a few more revolutions, and that's a key double in the 6th and the 7th.
The high backswing, the finger lift at this point, and wrist turn. The ball comes in light. Watch the head pin go to the sideboard and clean out that 4-5-7. His head got in the way, but it's that same old hit we've seen time and time again.
You watched it till the bitter end, too.
And it's a 1-pin match right now. Snell leading by a pin.
I don't know about you, Mike, but I'm starting to get a little nervous.
Oh, boys, he got that lane wired.
Apparently, these two young gentlemen aren't too concerned about the lights or anything else right here.
Right now, Brad Snell's only concerned with lane 27 because he is just drilling lane 28.
Leads by 1, strike in the 7th. And really, this is a big, big shot. They all are. We always say that. But in the 8th, this key double puts the pressure back on Steelsmith.
Right. The lead is 1 pin, and he can ensure himself of staying ahead, at least for another frame or so, if he can strike here. Here it comes. Oh, another 7-pin. A good shot. Boy, he threw that ball well. It just finishing a little late on lane 27. He has had 1 strike on 27, and that was that light hit in the 2nd frame. And again, he's playing an extreme outside angle out around the 2nd or 3rd board. The ball comes in late behind the head pin, and the 4-pin, 2nd from the left, goes to the sideboard and lays down. Boy, it just missed that 7-pin.
The left-hand lane, the ball seems to be hanging just a touch for the left-handers, and that normally spells corner pin, doesn't it, Mike?
Yes. Tough spare makes that 7-pin, maintains a 1-pin lead.
That could all change, though, with this key shot for Rick Steelsmith in the 8th as he works on a double right now.
Down by 1, can take a 9-pin lead if he strikes here. Really thinking this one over before he gets up on the approach.
Taking a little extra time, too. Mike has commented time and time again how much poise and gamesmanship Rick Steelsmith has. That's what the collegiate ranks will do for you as well.
There it is. Oh, perfect, perfect. Woo! How can you do that at 21 for $43,000?
Well, the reason why is because he's a business management major, and he understands what money's all about, Mike.
He does. Come on, he said. Yeah.
There he is. What a happening dude.
There's a super party animal. Yeah. His name is Bugs McKenzie. A barbecue inside. A barbecue. And a cold Bud Light. A cold Bud Light. Puts him in a party frenzy. In a party frenzy. He's Buds McKenzie, Bud Light's original party animal. Go, Buds, go. Go, Buds, go. Go, Buds, go.
Buds, you really cooking now.
All right.
America's high school students are doing their best on ESPN's Scholastic Sports America. I'm Chris Fowler. Please join me every Saturday, 6:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Up by 9, can increase it to a commanding 19-pin lead with 1 more here. He's had every ball in the 1-3 pocket throughout this match.
And threw 8 strikes in the semifinal game.
Oh, boy.
Well, I asked him coming into this tournament, Mike, or I should say, Rick, did you ever really expect to end up bowling for the title? And he just kind of looked at me nonchalantly and said, you know, I knew I was bowling well, and if I just took care of business, things would work out. They have so far, but Brad Snell trying to derail him here
And Brad Snell is the proverbial back against the wall. He has got to strike. 9th frame. His potential 239 if he goes all the way. Gets the 9th one.
That's pressure bowling at its finest there. He's hanging on by his fingernails.
And this is so important to Snell. I mean, he's bowled an excellent game here. He's had every ball in the pocket except the 6th frame where he left the 3-5-9. Left a 7-pin in the 4th frame and a 7-pin in 8th frame, and he has to strike here. If he strikes here, Dan, then he forces Steelsmith to mark in the 10th frame. If he doesn't strike this first time, Steelsmith is going to be the 1987 Masters champion. A lot of pressure on this ball on a tough lane.
He is really deliberate, though. Needs to get this one to hook a little bit at the end.
Oh, a bad break and leaves the 5-pin.
Oh, boy. Boy,
Sure
that was a good
struck.
shot. Tried to shake the pins loose a little bit, and Mike has mentioned the only strike he had on the left-hand lane was a bit of a shaker early in the match.
Right, and the tendency in that situation, Dan, under pressure is to steer it up high. I mean, but he trusted it all the way. Nice speed, and the ball sure could have struck, and it didn't. He just did not get very many breaks in this championship match. This is the one he had to have to stay in the match, and he really sent it out wide, and it came roaring back at the end. Watch the head pin go to the wall. Hits light in the 1-2 pocket, and the head pin goes to the wall, and the 6-pin just missed the 5. And his reaction is, come on, please, Kerry.
Just a little break is all I need, and your whole life passes right in front of your eyes when something like that happens. Tremendous tournament this week for Brad Snell. And now Rick Steelsmith, as you see him quietly checking the scoreboard to find out exactly what he needs as Snell bows out with a fine 219.
And basically all he needs to do is keep the ball on the lane and stay behind the foul line. He's going at a 238 pace. He can open and shoot in the 220s. But he needs to get some kind of count, some kind of pin count, and stay behind the foul line.
What a boost for collegiate bowling, huh?
Certainly is.
You consider the Mark McDowells and the Jack Jureks.
Mike Jasnows
at this point bowling professionally. These are the stars of the future. I should say the stars of today, huh? Wow. As Rick Steelsmith finally now realizing that he has just captured the ABC Bud Light Masters, and he is drained, believe me, his chance of USA come rafting down from upstairs.
Did you see how that ball hit?
Yes, I did. That looked like a John Gant special. Oh, just a buzzsaw. Unbelievable. Rick did not qualify to bowl in the ACUI championships. Figured he'd try the Masters instead. Couldn't beat the college players, but he ends up the best player in the world for the ABC Masters in 1987. And there you see the collegiate contingent there. And a smile on Rick Steelsmith's face.
Well, he had 8 strikes in the first match. If he gets one more here, he's going to have 9 here. He could have 17 strikes out of a possible 24. Well, he gets some experience now.
Yeah. I'm sure all those PBA guys are looking forward to that, huh?
Another one.
Oh, you used to fight off all those young lions, Mike Durbin. Don't give me that excuse. One more time, and it's a perfect afternoon for a youngster from Wichita, Kansas, as he clinches the Masters, 258 to 219, in one of the most superb bowling exhibitions that anybody has seen in a long, long time. And boy, what a future he has. We'll be back with a final word right after this.
Hi, I'm Christy Cardenas, and that's Tom Donani.
Christy, I need a bigger hammer.
Tom, I don't think you're supposed to nail in wallpaper.
Well, give me a staple gun.
If you keep putting off home repair projects because you're not sure how to do them, tune in to Primetime Live's Home Helper Show every Wednesday night on WCCO2.
Our home remodeling, home repair experts will answer my questions and yours about every kind of home fix-it project.
Primetime Live's Home Helper Show every Wednesday night at 7:30 on cable, WCCO2.
To ensure our position as one of the largest volume Ford dealers in America, Tousley Ford has cut the sticker price by a full $2,900 on a special purchase of full-size F-150 pickups. That brings our price to just $79.95. Lease for $159 a month. Escorts with all these features, $58.95. Lease for $109 a month. 3.9 APR financing or rebates up to $1,000 are available. And you choose from 1,500 vehicles in stock. It's worth a trip to Tousley Ford.
And there you see him, the 1987 ABC Bud Light Masters champion, 22-year-old Rick Steelsmith, who bowled collegiately at Wichita State. You've obviously got some fans on hand here in Niagara Falls, but Rick, one question. What was going through your mind heading into the title match? Did you feel comfortable and confident?
I felt comfortable and confident both. I just wanted to go out and try to make the best possible shots that I could, and anything that happened beyond that was out of my control. I just wanted to make the best shots that I possibly could.
Yeah, and now that you made some great shots, we're going to have Dave Brunette stand in at this point, representing Bud Light, to present you with something I'm sure you're, well, going to look favorably on in many years to come.
Thank you. Rick, on behalf of Bud Light, we'd like to present you with the winning check in the amount of $43,500 for winning this year's ABC Bud Light Masters. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'd like to also thank American Bowling Congress and Bud Light for hosting the event. It was great all week. The fans were great. This is a dream come true for me.
And speaking of the American Bowling Congress, let's bring in the president of the ABC, Mr. Ed Sweeney, who has a gorgeous trophy to present to you, Rick Steelsmith.
Yeah, Rick, congratulations on behalf of the 3.7 million members of the American Bowling Congress. We also send our congratulations. Let me present the trophy.
Thank you very much. Oh, gosh, this is a dream.
He's obviously very excited. Thank you very much, Ed Sweeney. An outstanding tournament. Let me bring in Mike Durbin. Mike, your thoughts about a 22-year-old kid coming in and winning the Masters?
Well, we watched him play last night, and we knew that this young man was going to be a potential winner today. He came out and did it today. I have one question for you. Are you really as calm as you appear to be?
No. I was trying to fight off the nerves the whole time. I went over and during the break and tried to take some drinks and couldn't even get the glass to my mouth. So, God, I was nervous, that's for sure.
Well, I know you were a business manager or a management major at Wichita State, but you might start to move to the accounting at this point because you've got a lot more money on your hands.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be able to get enough out of this to go ahead and sponsor myself. I'm planning on starting on the tour in January. And this will be a good start. Hopefully I can go ahead and do it on my own.
And, of course, he'll be participating as a member of Team USA in the FIQ Championships coming up just a couple of weeks in Finland. Exciting tournament. Mike Durbin, thanks for your commentary here this afternoon. Our champion of the 1987 ABC Bud Light Masters Championship, 22-year-old Rick Steelsmith out of Wichita, Kansas. And goodbye, everybody. From Niagara Falls, this has been a presentation of Bud Sports through the facilities of ESPN.
Congratulations. It's outstanding.